Movies are an art form. We all know this. And with art, everyone can have different opinions, have different tastes, enjoy different pieces for different reasons. And sometimes you may not be in the mood to go visit the lore of the Louvre, whatever the hell that fancy museum in France is called. Sometimes that is perfect. It's moving, it's emotional, the piece speaks to you. It might be one of the best things you've seen all year. And sometimes you just want to go to Ripley's Believe It or Not, have some fun, look at some cool stuff, and you just walk out feeling entertained. Hi everybody, Anthony here from Awesome Anthony Productions, and today I'm going to be giving you my review of the latest movie from Warner Brothers and DC, starring the most bankable man in Hollywood, Black Adam. But before we get started, you know exactly what to do. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell so that you never miss any of my content. You can also scroll on down and find the links to my TikTok and my Instagram in the description below. Let's get into it. Black Adam centers on an Egyptian slave, Teth Adam, played by one of the only actors in existence that can get away with playing himself in every single movie, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Why does he get away with it? Because he's charming as all hell. Anyway, after the very same wizards from Shazam give Teth Adam the powers that Shazam also got, he becomes the protector of the Egyptian kingdom of Kahndaq before being sealed away in a tomb. About 5,000 years later, Kahndaq is now under military occupation by a group called Intergang, foreign invaders that invade a country to mine their natural resources. This time it's a magical, indestructible metal called unobtainium. No, that's not it. Eternium, that's what they call it in this movie. And they're also searching for a magical MacGuffin. And in searching for that magical MacGuffin and all the Eternium, Teth Adam is released from his tomb once again. Will he become the protector and savior of Kahndaq again, or will he be its destruction? Now, I went into this film with basically no expectations whatsoever. I don't really know DC from their comics, only their movies and TV shows, animated or live action, and I knew nothing about Black Adam besides the fact that he started as a Shazam villain, and basically knew nothing about the Justice Society besides the fact that Dr. Fate was my main in Injustice, and I think he's really f***ing cool. But yeah, to form a fresh, completely unbiased opinion, I went into this movie without reading any reviews or seeing any critic scores. And I have to say, I had a ton of fun with it. Yeah, it's not great, and parts of it are pretty mediocre, but this movie embraces what it is to incredibly fun results. It's just a comic book movie. Honestly, it feels like an amalgamation of parts of all the comic book movies that came before it, but in a really fun way that doesn't feel like a complete ripoff. It gives us a story that would be at home in like a 90s or early 2000s movie, while still bringing in that mostly fantastic CGI, modern humor, and ties to a bigger universe that the big budget superhero movies have nowadays. Add to that the fact that this film flies along at a breakneck pace, and it's almost impossible to not get swept up in the ride. In my opinion, the best part of the movie is the entire extended second act after Teth Adam is brought back. It's nothing new, definitely, but the fish out of water aspect in this film, with this ancient superhero just trying to understand the modern world and maybe chill with the whole, murdering people thing, works pretty well with Dwayne Johnson in the role. He's tough and ruthless. Seriously, just imagine all that power from Shazam, lightning fingers included, just being unleashed on normal humans with no restraint whatsoever. But he still has that Dwayne Johnson swagger and charm that we know that makes him so bankable in the first place. The character also lives by a code and isn't just a monstrous killing machine, which adds a bit of depth to this admittedly kinda one-note character. So I really enjoyed that aspect of the movie, along with how Black Adam interacts with the family that brings him in, including Sarah Shahi as Adriana, Mohamed Amer as Adriana's brother Kareem,
did he just catch a rocket?
and Bodhi Sabangui as Adriana's teen son, Aman. Teth Adam plays pretty well off of all of these characters, though Adriana is admittedly one of the weaker characters in the film because at a certain point, all she really does is just lecture everybody, including the superheroes. But she does have her moments to shine, as do Kareem and Aman, and they bring a lot of humor into this movie, even if Aman's child actor is not really that strong. Between Teth Adam's reintroduction in modern times, the somewhat shockingly violent ways that he murders members of Intergang, the way he interacts with Adriana's family, and the introduction of the Justice Society as they try to contain Black Adam, makes that middle act pretty damn fun, and honestly left me on my seat through most of the middle part of this film. Speaking of the JSA, they may not have that much development, like literally at all, but they still make for a really fun team that can come into place while you don't really know what the hell you're doing with your Justice League right now. And they brought in some exciting action set pieces and allowed for some funny and thematically relevant dialogue with Black Adam. And I'll admit it, I'm just a sucker for watching superheroes fight each other. The actors on the JSA do the best with what they're given, too. Some are given more than others, like Aldous Hodge as Hawkman, who has a great screen presence and is given the role of the leader of the JSA.
He's a warrior through and through. Brace yourself!
but with no backstory whatsoever besides his friendship with the standout character, who is also my favorite character in this film, Pierce Brosnan's Dr. Fate.
Worthy. But fate does not make mistakes.
From what little I know about this magical, future-predicting superhero, they f***ing nailed it. They gave him a comic-accurate look, they made his character compelling enough without giving him too much of a backstory, and they gave him some of the best visuals and action scenes in the entire film, while being careful to keep him as distinct as possible from Doctor Strange. He was definitely my favorite character in the film, and I really wanted more of him walking out. Noah Centineo is here as Atom Smasher, and he did fine. He's kind of relegated to a comic relief role like how Flash was in Justice League, but it feels a lot more natural here. And his powers are pretty cool, and he gets a few laughs out of me. There's also Quintessa Swindell as Cyclone, and all I can say about that character is that we got some pretty cool and beautiful visuals from their action scenes, but there's not really much to that character in way of development as is the rest of the JSA, besides like 2 or 3 throwaway lines, so they didn't really stick out that much to me. However, Cyclone and Atom Smasher do have a bit of chemistry, which is pretty nice to see. So yeah, from that incredibly exciting, fun, and fast-paced middle alone, I would definitely be able to give Black Adam a recommendation, especially if you want to have fun at the movies. That being said, I really think that this film would have benefited from like an extra 30 minutes or so. The opening with Teth Adams' backstory in ancient Egypt definitely could have been extended and maybe made into like a 15-20 minute scene, kind of like what they did with Krypton in the beginning of Man of Steel. But instead, it's sloppily cut to all hell and given a kind of cheesy narration to give all the exposition. From there, we get an admittedly kind of boring beginning to the modern story, with these new underdeveloped characters just cracking jokes and kind of boring us a little bit until we get to Black Adam. And if a bit more of a runtime, they could have developed them more and made us really care about them. After that, we get the exciting middle part that I love so much, before a lot of that fun takes a backseat to yet another CGI monstrosity villain for the heroes to face off against, just like Suicide Squad, Batman vs. Superman, and Wonder Woman. And that ends up taking a lot of the depth and originality and fun out of the story. And the CGI on the villain stands out as pretty bad because the rest of the CGI in the film is pretty damn good. I also thought that they could have come up with a bit more for Hawkman and Adriana to do. They basically just spend the film repeating themselves, with Hawkman telling Black Adam over and over not to kill anybody.
Heroes don't kill people.
Well, I do.
And Adriana lecturing the JSA at every chance she gets about the occupation of her country and how Black Adam needs to kill the inner gang people to get down to their level, which was kind of a weird message for a movie, to be honest. Overall, regardless of the corny, cut-to-hell opening, barely developed supporting characters, and paint-by-numbers climax with a lame CGI villain and a bland MacGuffin, Black Adam is still some of the most fun I've had in a superhero movie in a long time. Dwayne Johnson, as always, is a great leading man. Dr. Fate is a standout character with some of the coolest scenes in the movie. The fast pace hardly ever lets up, especially during that large middle chunk of the film that brings in plenty of humor, heart, near flawless CGI, and truly amazing action set pieces. Seriously, I cannot praise the action enough here. Oh, and that credit scene? Hell yeah! And that's my review of Black Adam, an exciting and fun time with the movies that knows exactly what it is and doesn't try to shoot out of its league to please critics. Thanks for watching, everybody. I've been Anthony of Awesome Anthony Productions, and if you like this video, you know exactly what to do. Leave a like, scroll on down, leave a comment, tell me what you thought of the movie. And you can also subscribe and ring the bell so that you never miss any of my content. You can also scroll down to the description and find the links to my TikTok and my Instagram. Click on these cards here. They'll take you to my review of Terrifier 2, or just over to my channel where you can check out my reviews, my shorts, and my old shit. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you on the next one for the last review of Spooktober. Pray for the devil.